because I've already worked on the charger a bunch today, and I just need to take the lower control arms. They're 100% ready to have Hayden weld them up, and I've already welded the bases of the coilover strut tubes to, or the coilover adjustable tubes to the new fork, which is going to be really awesome. So hopefully after that's done, we'll have the lower control arms done. The sway bar link is probably going to be the last thing I need to add on to it, which isn't going to be that come up right through the lower control arm, or I'll add it to the lower control arm. I'm not exactly 100% sure yet, but I can't wait to finally have this thing on the ground. It's so close. So, and I've been, I've been doing a bunch of stuff to it. I've actually just got a bunch of misalignment spacers. I was working with a subscriber, Aaron Rue. He keeps, him and his brother keep coming through. He's helping me with some more misalignment spacers. I mean, I think once the car is done, I think I'm going to have to hook him up a little bit, but because he's helped me out so much. But I'm just super excited. They're just, they fixed the issue that happened when I went through a company that he suggested, and then, some stuff happened, but they went ahead and made it right. And it was pretty awesome. So I'm very appreciative to Aaron Rue and his brother, because I would be probably in the worst situation trying to find a shop to get these things made. But yeah, I can't wait to see the charger finally under her own weight on the ground. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do about the headers, but I ordered the thing that for the steering shaft, so that should be here this week. I also ordered another 3D printer because my extruder head on mine just started doing weird stuff. I could probably just buy another one, but they're so cheap. It makes more sense to just buy a brand new 3D printer than to fix the ones that go bad. So I'm going to order that later, probably after I'm done with the live stream. I'm going to order that and get everything so I could finally be able to 3D print stuff that I designed, so I don't have to wonder if it's going to fit or not. So pretty happy about that stuff. And I want to get the dash 3D scanned, and then I could also, 3D print pieces of the dash to make sure that's going to fit as well. But where's this little microphone thing at? Just so I'm actually talking. Let's see. Good evening from Florida. What's going on? Let's see. My eyes. Cool. Hellcat Magnum cold start. That's I've had my Hellcat Challenger for, it's been a while, probably 3 years now, and it still has the cats on it, and it has a stock exhaust. So I've never actually heard, like in real life, in person, a Hellcat with pretty much the cat's gone, straight pipe, and like 2 mufflers. So plus it's going to be 2-inch. I'm probably going to do the 2-inch primaries to the 3-inch or 3.5-inch collectors. So I've been kind of doing some research, trying to figure out what headers I need to order. So it seems like if you go over 750 horsepower, which my plans for the car, as everybody knows, is like 1600 horse, that you need 2-inch primaries and like 3.5-inch collectors, or you have a lot of back pressure issues. So plus the 426, when I get it and I put CNC heads on it, they're going to be, they're going to be ported because they're going to be CNC'd. But besides that, then I have like this, should I just do the whole exhaust in 3.5-inch? But I just feel like that's really excessive. So let's see. The pixelation hurts. I guess at my house there's a lot of pixelation. It says I have 5G. I don't know. Yeah, it says I have 5G right now. There shouldn't be any issues. Let's see. Hi Dave, what's going on? Elise needs turbos to go with the supercharger. Yeah, so the plan is to have supercharger with 2 twins on it. So that's another thing I was thinking about. Oh man, this box is actually pretty nice. I got a replacement set of Morimoto headlights because they actually honor their warranty, which was pretty cool. So the headlights on my truck started fading. I messaged them because my friend Nick that I bought them from said they're under warranty, and they sent me a brand new set out like that same week, which is pretty cool. So, but yeah, that's like my issue with the headers. Should I buy a set of long tube headers and then have to, when I put the 426 in there, I'm going to have to, the engine's going to be out and everything anyway, but then put like turbo headers on there because I'm going to have the turbos mounted somewhere. So, because the long tubes won't work. So should I just make some turbo headers first or turbo exhaust manifolds first and then just run them the whole time? Or should I run long tubes and then throw the turbo manifolds on there once I put the 426 in it? So that's really my predicament right now. Plus my other predicament is once I figure out the whole steering shaft location, I could then go and make or modify that driver's side header if I get a long tube or if a long tube will fit. It looks like it should fit, but it's just hard to tell where the shaft goes. So the shaft pretty much is going exactly where the original engine mount would be. So I feel like the header wouldn't touch it because the engine mount's there already and they have to clear that. Then they have to clear a starter already. So without having one, it's kind of hard. So I need to probably end up just figuring out if I'm going to do a short tube or a long tube, and then ordering what I need and go through that. I've been waiting for a few header or exhaust companies to message me back because I sent them pictures to see if they could send me some measurements, general measurements, so I could figure out if their headers are going to clear or not. And it's been like 2 weeks. So I'm probably going to call them tomorrow, Monday, and make them work and make them clear that steering shaft. Shouldn't be that big of an issue, but yeah, it would be nice to know when I get them. So let's see. Has Dodge ever contacted you about what you are doing with the Magnum? It's a great idea. No, I've never heard from Dodge. I've never heard from their social media department. Like I've said in previous videos, their social media is like a third-party company. So I don't know. I don't really plan on hearing from them. And I don't think once the car is like finished and I drive it and it's getting millions of views on YouTube and stuff, I'm sure they're gonna be like, oh, we want to do something with your car just because it's getting a lot of views. But at that point, I'm probably just going to tell them to kick rocks because, yeah, I don't like that. It really bothers me. So, yeah. Let's see. Good evening from Oklahoma City. What's going on? That's fantastic news that you're considering turbos. Yeah, so the plan from the beginning of the build was to always have it supercharged twin turbo. But it would be nice to get rid of the supercharger because it's so much weight up high and then just have it like twin turbo. But maybe, I don't know. It depends. The 426 is going to make a lot of power by itself, but it'd be nice to have that supercharger off the line and then have the turbos come in and make up after the supercharger kind of runs out. So hopefully we can make some good power with it. How it is with the stock 6.2 in it, stock supercharger, smaller pulley. I mean, plenty of people have put smaller pulleys and bigger injectors and stuff on Hellcats. So it's a guaranteed combination, but we'll see once it has a 426 in it, what it's actually going to be capable of. And I think by then I'll have a lot of, would have been driving it for quite a bit of time and probably for like 6 months or so. And I'll have pretty much all of the main kinks worked out, and I could start designing the oil pan. So once I get the 426, we can have, you know, the 426 in there with the dry sump system. And like I said, when I designed the oil pan, another reason why I took that differential apart, the front differential, was because I want to have kind of like a GTR where the diff is in the oil pan, but I want it to be like beefy enough and well enough made so it can handle all that power going through it without breaking anything. And then the axles, you know, that'll increase, or not increase, but decrease the axle angles, which aren't horrible right now, but and I don't think they're ever going to really be horrible, because when I launch the car, it's going to lift the front end off the ground probably just a little bit. I've watched plenty of Trackhawk videos. I've been looking, it almost like when you like rip on a Trackhawk with stock suspension, it almost like lifts up about 2.5 inches in the front. And yeah, I've watched a lot of videos trying to figure that out. But yeah, so, you know, I don't think I'll ever have an axle angle issue, but just to like mitigate the axle angle issue for taking on the road course and stuff like that, I just want to, that driver's side axle is so short. It's just kind of one of those things where it bothers me, and I just don't want to have something that is like a failure point just because the car is lower than, you know, lower than a factory, way lower than a factory Trackhawk or Durango Hellcat would ever be at. So it does definitely affect everything. So, you know, front axle angle wise, the rear axles are pretty much factory Hellcat, you know, angles. So shouldn't be that big of an issue either. But I almost thought, since I lowered the car some, I was almost like, well, when I do the new, like, I'm going to redo the subframes eventually, and because I want to make it the rear diff, the front diff up a little bit higher to mitigate these axle angles issues, but they're not really issues. They're just kind of like I guess OCD issues to me. But the car will run and drive while I'm doing that, so don't worry. We'll have a running and driving Hellcat station wagon. But yeah, I just want to be able to drive the car and be able to like kind of fine tune and tweak it as I go. And I think it'll work out really well, because I'll be able to work on other projects, work on that, be able to make content with the wagon. And I think it'll be a lot better for people watching the channel, people that have been waiting for the wagon to drive and run. And then, you know, once I get the 426, it'll be really cool. So hopefully, you know, I know a lot of people have been watching the videos since the beginning, or even before I started even working on the Hellcat station wagon. And, you know, the original, you know, the Challenger rebuild, or my diesel truck rebuild, or, you know, the 3000 GT, stuff like that. I mean, there's been a lot of people that have been sticking around for all these videos, which I really appreciate, because some days I'm just like, man, I wish I just had like another engineering job and just had like a 8 to 4 job and just but I like being able to work on my own stuff and be able to like actually dedicate a lot of time to it. Because when you have a normal job, it's like, well, you know, I'll get to that, but when you're doing it for like YouTube and actually like kind of as a living, you're like, I need to get that done. So it's a different feel, but I'm really glad that I did it, because it motivates me to actually get my projects done. And I've had a lot of stuff that I've been really wanting to do besides the projects that I'm doing too, which I think a lot of subscribers that already subscribed to my channel are going to love. So yeah, I just want to get the Charger done now. So we'll see. Let's see. Metal causes wireless signal to reflect and reflect. Open your garage door. I think if I open my garage door though, my neighbors would be like, "What is that dude doing?" Actually, I guess some kids up the street. I guess some kids up the street watch my YouTube, or they watch my TikTok or something. But they came down and said, "What's up?" But Okay, yeah, nobody's outside, so they won't think I'm like super weird. Let's see. I always feel doing like social media in public, I always feel weird about it, even though I've been doing it for so long, because I just feel like kind of, I don't know. Sarah says the same thing. She's like, it makes me feel kind of like a douche, like when you have a camera out, like talking to yourself. I don't know, it's kind of a weird feeling. But uh, let's see. Greetings from New Zealand, Dave. It's a good sign you're doing these Q&As. Thanks, Patrick. I know it's been rough trying to get around to actually doing them and stuff like that, because I've just been dedicating so much time to the charger trying to get it done. So let's see. Did you find a new case for the 8HP95? Not yet. I haven't really looked that hard. And I was almost thinking that I could just, I don't know. I was planning on building the transmission myself, but if I did end up just buying a built transmission, I'll just have to pay that core fee, which is like $2,500 or something. So hopefully, I need to figure that out. Yeah, I'm gonna look probably for another, I'd say probably for another like 2 or 3 months, and then if I can't find one by then, I'll end up just buying a built transmission and transfer case. Let's see. Opinion, you'd have too much turbulence from a block off plate while not running the turbo on the turbo header. So except for the FD, all my turbo manifolds are all V-band, or like the turbo equivalent. So it's like I think they're like 3-inch for that size turbo. So I don't think it would be that big of a deal. I would just have to have like a kind of like a megaphone almost at the end of it, so it'd suck. It'd be is it a Venturi effect? Yeah, I think it's a Venturi. So it'd create a Venturi effect to suck the exhaust out. But I don't know. I might just go long tube headers and then figure out the turbo manifolds afterwards once I start to put the 426 in it. Might be a little bit simpler, so I don't have to, because I've already designed the flanges, but it'll be like a month till I get the flanges back. So I really don't want to wait that long to have the exhaust manifolds on the car, because that means I can't start it or can't drive it. So yeah, probably just going to go with some long tubes and then do the turbo manifolds and then go from there. New Mexico love, what's going on? Did you contact wildfire lifts? They can move around on wheels. Great storage option. No, I haven't. I haven't really looked into many lifts lately. I need to get on it, but I don't know. I'm kind of concerned because I see a lot of other lift companies and their lifts. Like there was a TikTok of a DeLorean falling off a 3-car lift, and I think that was like some other brand. So I don't know. It kind of worries me, because I don't really want any of my cars to fall off a lift again. It's always in the back of my mind. Did you buy a TIG welder yet? No, I haven't. I MIG'd some stuff today. Let's see. Do you think those diffs could handle 1,500 horsepower? Is there a better option? Yeah, so the Trackhawk diffs don't really have any issues. The transfer cases don't have any issues either, other than the clutches start to slip, so you have to put different clutch packs in them. But besides that, Trackhawks, I think there's like an 1,800 horsepower Trackhawk on stock diff with like a built transfer case, which is just, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna find out though. It just works. you ever heard, have you ever tried laser welding? I've seen it, but I've never tried it. In your life, how many free vehicles have you gotten? I scrap vehicles for a living, and it amazes me how many people scrap running and driving cars with clean pedals just because of miles and age. Yeah, no, that's can't really change them, I guess. And how many free vehicles have I gotten? I don't know if I've ever gotten a free vehicle. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been lucky enough. Keep up the good work. You're more with less. That's my philosophy too. Thanks. What happened to the beater with the heater? The what? Someone in the U.S. needs to build a 1,200 horsepower RSX wagon so that you can have something to race in this versus that episode. I mean, the Charger, even though I've lightened a lot of stuff up on it, it's still going to be like a 4,800. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's going to be 4,800 pounds. Maybe if I could be 4,500 pounds, I'll be super pumped. But at this point, like 4,800 pounds would be awesome, and it will be so fast. I mean, it's going to be so crazy. If it could be 4,500 pounds, it's going to be so much faster than a Trackhawk or a Durango Hellcat, just because it's so much lighter. But yeah, I mean, it'll be cool. I mean, I'd be pumped about doing this versus that. What's up, Super Dave? Doing the do. Thanks. I've been with you watching your videos from the beginning, and it's been awesome. Good choice to work your own way. Okay, dude, very, very cool to see you. Used to watch you build the F-350. So the F-350 is probably gonna get like a revamp. Once the Charger's done, I want to pretty much go through it and really fix her up. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do like just end up selling the truck and get something newer, but I want to pretty much just go through the whole truck. And I've been using it as a truck for the past 5-ish years, and it's showing its truck signs. So I really want to get her to look nice again. And I mean, the interior always looks good and stuff like that. And the drivetrain wise, it's fine. But the exterior is definitely showing some wear. So definitely want to clean her up and get her painted and freshen her up a little bit. Let's see. This is definitely not selling 5G to me. Haha, sorry to see it didn't work. Yeah, let me see. I'm sure it's, yeah, it still says 5G. 5G right now. It's so bad. It's just like, oh my God. Let's see. Will you be able to have the option of turning off the front wheels and just have the rear wheel drive car at any time, or will it be in all time four wheel drive? So how Durango Hellcats and Trackhawks work is the transfer case is electronically actuated. So if you, it only engages the front wheels, I believe, when it detects slip, kind of like a GTR, but it has the same, so like the newer GTRs don't have the same front and rear diff ratio, but the Durango and the Trackhawk and the older GTRs all do. So it's a 370 in the front, 370 in the rear. But I believe it only detects slip. So hopefully what I want to do is make it so on the display I could turn off the transfer case instead of having to go through and put a switch that relay. And then once you do the, once you turn off the switch, the relay, then it sets like a traction control fall, and you have to turn the car off and then turn it back on. So hopefully I could get it, go into the BCM and get everything to work through the BCM and, the transfer case control module instead of doing it with a switch. So that's going to be kind of, I'm going to have to fiddle with that once I get it running and driving and get everything in and done and ready to go. Let's see. Southern Hot Rod in Kenner, Louisiana. He is the man for built HPs. I think it's the Viking transmissions. Huh. Let's see. It'd be sweet to see you build an MR2 TRD wide body. You do great body work, so I know it'll turn out amazing. Thanks. I have been looking for a turbo MR2 for probably 3 years, if I could find a good one, but finding a good one that isn't just, right now, there's a lot of people that's trying to sell beat to death stuff for, I saw an MR2 that was like wrecked on the passenger side, looked like they like tried to drift it and drifted into like one of those poles at Walmart, and they were like 7,500 firm. It's like, dude, like 2 years ago, this would have been like a $500 car, but I understand it. So once, everything's going to come down, like I've been saying, in the next couple months, beginning of the year, I'm not going to really have to try that hard to get stuff, which is going to be really nice. But it's, if I could find I've also, a subscriber a long time ago said he'd give me a Galant VR4. I probably should have took him up on that offer, but I've been looking at Galant VR4s too, and also like a 98 Talon GSX or like an Eclipse GSX. I really like the Talons a lot better, but either of those are kind of cool cars. I don't know. I like, when I play Forza, my garage is just like everything. But yeah. Let's see. No audio. Must be like the 5G not working. Okay, let's see. Hey Dave, have you heard of Kale SRT on YouTube? Yeah, he's messaged me a few times. So a long time ago, he messaged me when I was doing the Magnum build, and he asked me some questions on it. And then recently, like probably 6 months ago or something like that, he asked me how much to all-wheel drive swap one of his cars. And then I told him how much it would be, and he never messaged me again. So I don't know if he thought I was just going to do it for free or what was going on, but yeah, it's just pretty comical. So I've heard of him. He's doing good. I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I wonder where this mic is. Which one is the mic? It has to be this. Well, it's funny. Yeah, it keeps again because of the 5G. So, like I said, if we would just keep like 3G, 2, and then just build the cell towers to support that, it's like 4G's. I believe 4G is like 40 hertz, 3G is 30 hertz, and they just keep going up, which is stupid. What they should do is just build more cell phone towers instead of having to refit all the cell phone towers that they currently have with new 4G or 5G devices, and then we wouldn't have these issues. It's just a gimmick, is all it is. They should have just kept 2G and turned it up big time. I don't think I'm blocking the mic. I looked twice. Like I'm looking, my finger is not blocking it. It's on right there. I think it's the cell tower. Okay. You need Milwaukee to send you one of their new M12 file bit sanders. So I have a pretty funny story about Milwaukee. So when I was at SEMA, I went over to the Ingersoll Rand booth because I was walking by the Ingersoll Rand booth, and then this guy and his kid that worked for Ingersoll Rand watched my videos. So I was talking to them, and I BS with them for probably like an hour or so about like my projects, and they're into Hondas and a bunch of cool stuff. They showed me some of their projects. And then Milwaukee's booth was right next to them. So I was like, well, I'll go see what Milwaukee has new. So I go over to Milwaukee's booth, and there's like 5 guys there that are like, oh, we watch your videos on YouTube and all this stuff. So then I went and talked to the marketing lady. So she gave me her contact card. I emailed her. So last week she emails me back after I haven't heard from her for like a whole week. And she's like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna work with your channel. We're trying to work with people with like pro channels or something like that, is what she said. And I was like, okay. It's like, okay, whatever. And I just thought it was funny because so many people that worked there watched my videos, and then she's like, you're not the right fit for her company. I was like, why are the people watching my videos at your company then? So yeah, I thought it was pretty comical. I get that a lot, but I also know that some companies don't like people that are kind of real. I'm going to say I'm probably more, I'm pretty real with my subscribers, with the stuff that I promote, with, if I find out something is like a piece of junk, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, buy this because it's junk, but I want to make money off of it. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was pretty comical. And then somebody brings up Milwaukee on my live stream. And we're back. I think it's the cell tower cutting out the audio. Can I ask your cell carrier? Love your content. Hello from New York City. What's going on? I used to work in the cellular telecom industry. Nice. Did you decide on those rims yet? Any of the ones you showed us at SEMA would look amazing. So I've been talking with Vossen, and I think I know which wheels I'm going to get for the Charger, but I told the guy that I've been talking to at Vossen, I don't want him to send me wheels and then, before I get the alignment, and then them poke out or be too sunk in or something, because everything's so adjustable. I want to have, correct caster, and I could move the control arms, the lower control arms in or out to adjust caster. So I was like, I don't want you to send me wheels until I'm 100% sure that you're not going to send me something and I'm going to be like, oh, well, these wheels don't fit. You need to send me different wheels. So, yeah, I think I know what I'm going to get for the station wagon. It's pretty similar to to like the wheels that are on it. They're just a lot more concaved. They're 11s instead of 10s, and I'm not sure. I'm still on the edge of 20s or 21-inch wheels. So my original plan was to go with their carbon fiber wheel, but with like the speeds I plan on doing with the car, I'm not really comfortable with. I don't know. It's to me, if I hit like a pothole with a carbon fiber wheel doing like 175 or 200 miles an hour, um, yeah, I don't know. It just to me, it's just scary. So I think I'm just gonna go with like a forged wheel and then maybe later on get something for driving around town or something like that. Something like where I'm not trying to go super fast in the car, and something that looks like, those wheels are gonna look super good, but something that's like really pops. But yeah, I think I definitely know which wheels I'm gonna get. So let's see, Marissa, I like your vids. Thanks. Think you will have the charger running by the end of the year? Since I switched to the weekend shift, the generation. Yeah, but the four and it's like 40 hertz, right? 30 hertz. It's the nice teeth guy. I mean, I just brush my teeth. I don't know. The newer ones are higher bandwidth and use different frequencies. The 5G is the millimeter wave band, the same as an MRI machine and the TSA scanners. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Again, so like I've said before, I don't want to put the interior in until I have it running and driving. Most likely, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the SXT interior in it. So when I'm driving around the country, then if I find a good interior, or if I end up finding or figuring out what I'm going to do with the interior, I could do that then. But if I find an interior on like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that, or a forum, I could just pick it up and then throw the SXT interior in the garbage or a dumpster, and then I'll have my interior. But for the time being, I don't know. We'll see. I've been looking for a bunch of different stuff. The front seats that I've been wanting to put in the car, I've been looking for like 3 years. And other than buying them brand new and paying like $8,000 a piece, I don't, I haven't been able to find them. But hopefully, I could find it. Well, I've found some, but they're kind of far away. I've found some in like Virginia and stuff like that. So not in places where I could pick them up. And with how many people have been scamming on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and stuff like that, it's kind of hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I'll send you like 4 or 5 grand, and yeah, just ship me the seats. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. How many cars do you have? I don't know. I have quite a few, a lot. Let's put it this way. I have so many cars. I don't know. So funny story. My ex-girlfriend's dad called me probably like last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and he was asking me some stuff about, because he has like a bunch of motorcycles, but her and her mom always always bitched about how many motorcycles he has. And I told him, I was like, yeah, man, if your daughter saw how many cars I have, she'd probably have a heart attack, because she was mad when I had like 3 cars, and now I have like probably like at least close to 50. And it's just funny. And he started laughing. So I thought it was funny. That's hilarious, Dave. You need to keep what you're doing. Thanks. Let's see. I just went through the 4G, 5G crap with my internet provider. As soon as the 5G got turned on, my internet went out completely because of range. Yeah, so hopefully, so the biggest issue at the house is they're installing fiber, and it's been like they've been installing fiber for 2 years. And the issue with them installing fiber is so around here we have, it's like called the metro, but it's like the government. So they have like the city and then they have the metro, but the metro out here supposedly isn't signing their permits so they can install the fiber. So they like wait like 2 months to sign it, to like approve the permit. And it's just like an ongoing thing. So it's taking like, it was supposed to be done in 6 months. It's taking like 2 years. And now there's CenturyLink installing all their fiber optic network, and they got it all done in like 3 months because the Metro approved all their permits, because somebody at the Metro probably got paid off and they were like, oh, we're just going to stamp all these permits. So hopefully fiber is here soon. So when I do live streams, you guys could actually, I'm not sure how bad this looks. I thought it was going to look good because I'm on 5G, but we'll see. Let's see. For the Hellwagon, you should use the devil rims that Dodge makes. I would if they had them in 5x127. Why are you glitching so much? I'm probably because of the 5G. 20s, I think you'll appreciate the sidewall. I had 22s on my SRT Magnum. Was so happy to go back to the 20s. Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking about was, you know, do I still want to run the 35 series sidewall? Because that's what I have on the Challenger, and it's not bad, but it's not great. So I was thinking I could go from the 35 series, so I could do like a 315 45 20 instead of a 315 35 20. But I don't know. I got to figure that out too. I just don't want it to look like a, because the 45 series sidewalls are pretty aggressive, but they're kind of nice too at the same time. Let's see. I'm still going to send money for the second tank of gas for that car. Hell yeah. So what year range are you thinking on a truck build? I don't know. I've kind of always wanted to build like a older modern truck. So pretty much just like my truck, but just like in a older truck would be kind of cool. Going to run 4 buckets? No, I'm definitely not. My stream is very far behind. How much for a car that I'm going to build, especially swaps like that, because there's so much wiring and there's so much, there's so much stuff that you have to change to make it work in a 300 or an older Charger or into a Magnum. It's going to be $10,000 labor and whatever the donor car costs. And I'm only going to do it if there is a donor car, because I don't want to have to worry about something somebody else is taking apart, because it's just a nightmare. So if you're interested, I have an email in my description of my videos, or you could DM me on Instagram. Only if you're interested, because there's no other reason to worry about it. Let's see. That's dirty, or there was an issue with the submits from the sub they were using. So I would think that if I was anywhere else, but just living here for this long and knowing how things go, it's most likely bribery, because that's exactly what happens here all the time. So I'm trying to learn more about cars and such, but what's it between the series of sidewall? So the difference is well, it's pretty much a ratio between the width and the So the number on the sidewall and the width of the tire is like this, the height of the sidewall, but pretty much, you know, the higher the number goes up on the sidewall, or the higher the 35 goes, 35, 45, whatever goes, the thicker the sidewall is going to be. So, and you know, a 45 from a 35 isn't that big of a difference, but oh my God. So this thing keeps, so it keeps dropping. I'm going to just end the stream here. And I guess this is why I do streams at the Junkyard, because I actually get pretty decent service. So thanks. Oh man, I just got a bunch of things, but if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, but it keeps dropping the stream. So thanks for tuning in this weekend, and I'll see you. I won't have a video out tomorrow, but I should have one out like Wednesday or maybe Thursday, something like that. I'm not sure yet, but thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.